Hey, what's up everybody? My name's Adam and I'm with move.org, and I moved from Park City, Utah all the way to San Clemente, California. Now I used a wide variety of moving services and I documented the entire progress. And today we're going to talk about shipping containers, pods, U-Haul boxes, A-boxes, you name it. So let's get at it. So in full disclosure, I've actually used a shipping container service before, and the idea was that I would be able to pack in increments, not all at once, because we all know what really happens when you move. The night before you move, you throw everything in boxes, you buy a bunch of pizza, bring some friends over, you throw it in their cars, the U-Haul truck you ordered, and then you get it to your new location and it's just chaos, right? Stuff's everywhere. So the idea was that we would have this shipping container sitting in our driveway for X amount of weeks, maybe I think even a month before we moved. And that way every night I could do a little part of the move and maybe make it more organized because I have more time to think about whether I was going to keep something or sell it or throw it away. So let me explain the basics on how they work.
You call up a service and say, hey, I want a container to arrive at my house on a certain date. They say great, and the container shows up. You tell them how long you want the container at your house. You can have it for days, weeks, months. It's really up to you. Then you call the service and they pick up the container. They drive that container to a hub near your final destination. And then when you get to your final destination, you call them and say, hey, I want the container delivered to my new destination, house/apartment.
So with our move, we knew we were going to have a 2-week window on when they would pick the shipping container up and drop it off, or be able to drop it off in California. So that is something to think about when you're using a service like this. So I wasn't going to put anything in here that I didn't need immediately. So really what ends up going there is, garage stuff, Christmas decorations, family china, stuff that I wasn't needing access to immediately. There are a couple things to think about. Where is it going to go? Now, I went out and actually measured, and it was going to easily fit in my driveway. I found the flattest area that I could with kind of the best access.
Essentially, their containers are a 16-foot container, which is like 16 feet by 8. So I've kind of got my driveway here, kind of backs out. So I bet he's going to put it, I think, right here. And he's going to back it up so my doors are going to be right here. And that way I can access my garage or anything like that. So I've measured this out. It's plenty big enough.
Shipping containers can be stored on streets, and that would be city specific.
So something also to note, when I used PackRat, they included a month of storage in their pricing. So that means I could have it for 2 weeks or a week. I got 4 weeks in the original pricing, and anything above that, it was an additional cost. We only got the container for 4 or 5 days. I had wished we had planned better and had it longer, because that's what's nice about having a container. You can pack on your time. This is the container arriving at our house and being put on our driveway.
I saw you leveling it there. Okay.
So this is where you'll put your lock.
Okay. Put the lock on there.
Yep.
Okay.
And don't really worry so much about these.
Okay.
When we come to pick it up, when we pick it up with our truck, we'll be able to level it out better and be able to latch these.
Then what are your recommendations as far as packing? Like, what do they tell you, or what do you recommend?
Of course, no hazardous materials.
Right.
Try to even out the weight distribution as much as you can. If you need to tie anything off, go ahead and tie it off to the cages and stuff. Make sure that you don't have anything that could slide out.
Okay, because this is
what will be shipped away. The shell itself stays in Salt Lake.
Oh, okay.
So this is what we'll end up wrapping this in plastic.
Okay.
And but yeah, so if you have something sticking out when we go to pull it out, it'll snap off or bend, or we won't be able to get it out.
Could I tie stuff to this? Like, could I tie a rope to it?
I would, if you do it, tie to the main,
okay,
to the structure itself, not so much the cage.
Okay. Would you pack boxes tall, or do you try to keep everything level as possible?
Try to keep everything as level.
Okay.
That way the weight distribution when we pick it up with our forklift, it doesn't all Want to lean to one side. You're allowed 6,000 pounds of material in there. I know it's hard to gauge it when you're mostly just household items.
Okay.
You should be fine.
Okay, so we're gonna try and load everything that's in this garage. I don't know what's gonna fit. So I was reading, and so what I was reading about is they want you to like pack boxes and even out the weight. Because what happens is they take a forklift and this thing actually comes out and it goes into another truck and then it eventually comes into our house in California. So what we're gonna try to do is probably do some boxes up front, kind of boxes, heavier stuff. I have a couple big surfboards that'll probably go on top. And so we're gonna try and see if that works. I don't know. Let's show crew, go inside. So that has my 5-year-old and her dog. So that's kind of how big it is. It's pretty big. This is a pretty big space. And they say they don't want anything going out of here. So we need to make sure that nothing sticks out.
Can I come in here?
Okay. And obviously no children are allowed in there.
Like I said, we only had 3 days to do this. That was my mistake. But I kind of had been pre-packing our garage already, knowing that this wasn't going to go as smoothly as I wanted to. So in a couple nights between me, my wife, and you, as you can see, my little kids trying to help me out, we end up getting this pretty full. This is how much we packed. So this is actually holding quite a bit. I don't feel like we're using that much of the space. Here, I'm gonna back up. So we're using, this is big. This will fit a lot. And so I think I'm gonna go up a little higher, but probably not, and try to go back and then try to set some stuff on top. And that way if the truck shifts, everything kind of stays in place. Because I imagine you don't want anything spilling on the ground. So back to more packing. I think we're done. I don't know if we want to pack anymore. We are having a moving company help us, so we're not going to put this as brim full. This is more or less to get stuff out of the way so we can move more stuff in the garage. I left everything light at the top and everything's heavies down here. So I'm thinking if anything shakes, that nothing will fall really. This is what it's going to look like leaving our house. I guess we'll see what it looks like when it gets to California for us.
So a couple of days goes by, guy comes, he grabs the container and ships it off to California. So after a couple of weeks, I do get a call from the moving service, and they tell me my container is ready to be delivered to our new home. I set up a date and time, and it arrives. Our driveway at our new house could not fit the container, so I had to park the container on the street. I'd called ahead with the city to make sure that was okay. The driver carefully placed the container right next to a big tree and set it, and we got to unload it. As I mentioned in other videos, it's important to think about where is this container going to go?
Okay, so they wrap it in like a plastic kind of wrap, I guess. So I think we're gonna see what our stuff looks like. Let's see. I kind of don't remember what it looks like. Let's see. And so we have this for 3 days. Yeah, everything is, some stuff tipped over a little bit, it looks like. Other than that, we're in pretty good shape.
And this was sort of the last thing in our move. So with the help of my kids, we unpacked the container in one evening and we were done. I called up Pack Rat, and the next day actually they came and picked up the container and we were done.
I really hope you enjoyed this video. It was a lot of fun making this, and make sure to check out my other videos. I've talked about a car moving service, a got junk removal service, and we used a full service moving company to help move the heavy stuff, which was awesome. Anyways, thanks everybody, and talk soon.